Curt Schilling not only wasn't voted into the Hall of Fame, but asked to be removed from the ballot. For more, I'm here now with our Emma Bachelari. And Emma, with Schilling, there's obviously the character clause that comes up in the Hall of Fame voting. And, I could totally see the argument you should be in on your merits as a player or not, but it does, in fact, say you evaluate them on integrity and character. And I don't think plenty of what he's had to say in recent years would exactly inspire people to check yes on those categories. But, just the general question when you're looking at him as a pitcher, there's the postseason success, but on Baseball Reference, his closest comparison is Kevin Brown. In your mind, does Curt Schilling belong in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think as you said, he is kind of a fringier case as a player. I think strictly on the merits of his playing career, I would be inclined to check the box for him. But obviously, as you said, there's a lot that complicates the situation, and for many voters has made it a case of not just what he did on the field, but how do you interpret that character clause? Do we think that the things that he said in the last few years that have gotten him fired from ESPN, among other things, should be held against him? And is that enough of a mark to keep him off? And considering the fact that his playing career is not quite up to a standard where it's totally unimpeachable on its own, it up to now has been enough to keep him out. And with 1 year left, I think the chances are fairly slim that we see him go in.
He fueled a lot of that, by saying after the fact, just take me off the ballot. So, do you believe, aside from whether or not they actually do that, he removed himself from the Hall of Fame because otherwise you think he would have been in?
I think that's true. I'm curious to see if they honor this request. There actually is precedent for someone requesting this before. It wasn't a player. It was Marvin Miller, the first union labor leader. He requested to be taken off the ballot because he didn't think that the Hall of Fame as an institution matched what he had been trying to do with his personal goals for baseball. He made that request. They did not adhere to it. And then after he died, he did get in. So there's precedent to kind of ignore these requests, which I think is fine, to say that the hall and the ballot is not a marker of the desires of the people on it. It's trying to speak for baseball as a larger institution. So I'm curious to see what they do there. I don't think they're going to take him off because of that precedent, but I do think if he hadn't been so vocal in some of the things he said and supported over the last several years, particularly this year, on January 6th, his support for the insurrectionist activity at the Capitol. That was something that had people asking if they could remove him from the ballots that had already been cast. I think without all that, he probably would have been a Hall of Famer.
So perhaps, yeah, Schilling has been removed from the Hall of Fame that he would have been in otherwise.